Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2 is approve the minutes of our previous meeting, April 24th.
So moved.
Second. Record your votes. And that's approved unanimously. Item number 3 is approve the Oklahoma City Airport Trust proposed budget for fiscal year 2015.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. And before I ask you to approve the budget, I do have a presentation this morning so that we can explain our activities for next fiscal year. What we'd like to first say is the budget is increased from the year that we're currently in. Our current budget will be $148,667,000. There you see it. And go through the changes. Our operating budget is actually increasing approximately $8.2 million, and this is related to the last debt payment that's related to the bonds that constructed the Federal Bureau of Prisons. That's about $6.2 million. Also, the rest of the increases are due to various service contracts and other professional services and routine maintenance. Our capital outlay is a significant increase as well because we have a large number of construction projects which are multi-year that I'll visit a little bit later about. In looking at the airport sources of funds for fiscal year 2015, we first look at the airport charges to our tenants and users. Our building rents, $7,930,000. This is comprised of lease payments for the terminal building and numerous other buildings and hangars on the city's 3 airports. Landing fees, we're projecting $7,136,000. This is related to a rate of $2.84 per 1,000 pounds of landed weight, and this is charged to the passenger and freighter carriers on a cost recovery basis. Our parking revenues, we're anticipating $10,194,000. This is related to our public parking operation. That's for our surface parking lots and also our garages. Concession revenues, $6,981,000. This represents the retail, food and beverage, and the rental car concessions at Will Rogers World Airport. Fuel sales represents the fuel flowage fee of 8 cents per gallon. This is for all fuel that is either retailed on our airports or associated with leases that have self-fueling privileges, $1,664,000. Other airport charges, $17,444,000, represents various maintenance reimbursements, ground rentals, and ramp fees. So total airport charges to tenants and users of $51,349,000. We have other sources of revenue as well. Our oil and gas royalties are projected to be $2,445,000. Interest on investments, $433,000. And the passenger facility charges, commonly known as a PFC, which is the $4.50 fee on departure tickets, this is $7,369,000. This supplements the funding for the airport's capital program. The customer facility charge of $4.50 is $4,597,000, and this will pay for the construction costs for the new rental car facility that's being constructed now. Also will pay for the 8 35-foot low-floor CNG buses that will support the facility and also the facility's operations and maintenance. We're anticipating $15,307,000 from federal and state participation. This mainly comes in the form of FAA grants out from the Airport Improvement Program for airfield improvements and various equipment purchases, and also reimbursable agreements with the Transportation Security Administration this next year related primarily to the checked baggage system that we're doing. We also have, so again, other revenue of $30,151,000. We also have carryover that we're projecting of $36,785,000. This represents the Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center escrow account and also prior year revenues to support our capital program. And then projecting revenue bond proceeds of $30,382,000. This is the portion of bond revenues that we intend to spend on construction next year. So the carryover, the bond proceeds, and projected revenues of $81,500,000 comprise the trust budget of $148,667,000. In looking at the uses of funds, we have other services and fees, $10,651,000. This represents our major contracts for our parking management contract, janitorial, aircraft rescue and firefighting, and the supplemental security contracts. We have commodities, which represents various materials and supplies of $869,000. The debt requirements related to past financing of facilities with bonds of $27.7 million, and the transfer to the airport's cash fund of $16,909,000. This pays for the airport salaries, benefits, and other various services and supplies. So total operating expenditures, $56,129,000. We're also going to be budgeting reserves, which are estimated funds that will occur in 2015 that will be used to fund future capital, a little over $3 million. And the capital outlay is extensive next year for $89,426,000. So the combined reserves, capital outlay, and the operating expenditures balances the budget for us. We do have a few completed projects I'd like to share with you this morning, some at Will Rogers World Airport. We painted all of the hangars in various buildings at the AAR facility, $1,322,000. We also completed an airport lighting upgrade to Will Rogers World Airport, and also to runway 17 left and 35 right specifically for $1,406,000. We completed the multi-year project to do renovations and upgrades to garages A and B. This is the 2- and 5-story parking garages. This was a structural rehabilitation project, and it also included a complete rehabilitation for the electrical and lighting. And we have completed the land use development strategy for the roughly 1,000 acres on the east side of Will Rogers World Airport known as Lariat Landing. The diagram you see here is the last step in that process, which was the retail component of that project known as the Village of Lariat Landing for $1,241,000. We had some additional key projects. We purchased a new fire truck for our aircraft rescue and firefighting operation, completed an environmental assessment that was related to the new terminal expansion, as well as other capital improvement projects and our East Side Development Program. Did some repairs on Hangar 2 and 3 at AAR. Also, we will soon complete a departmental command center, which for the first time Will Rogers will have a emergency operations center, which will help us respond to emergencies more efficiently. So the total cost of all of our completed projects at Will Rogers was $14,870,000. We also have completed projects at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center I'd like to share with you. We have a lot of infrastructure at Mike Monroney that we maintain, roughly 70 acres of parking lots, and the Trust owns and maintains and operates the entire electrical grid system for the campus at Mike Monroney, also a 13,000 medium voltage distribution system and a medium gas pressure distribution system. This project was $2,272,000, where we reconstructed lots of roadways and parking lots on the campus. We also completed the Flight Standards Building roof replacement and building repairs project, a little over $1 million. The Air Traffic Building piping insulation replacement project of $217,000. Also provided some key electrical upgrades to numerous buildings on the campus, as well as the electrical vault modifications to the Aviation Records Building. Total cost of projects, $5,120,000. Getting into the ongoing projects or new projects for Will Rogers World Airport, and this is now where we get into the high construction capital budget for next year. The realignment of Portland Avenue, we're projecting $6,486,000. The City of Oklahoma City Public Works Department is handling the construction project on the south portion, and we hope to be underway with the north portion. That contract will be held by the Trust in early 2015. Also, the terminal expansion design we're very excited about, projecting a little over $7.7 million for architectural and engineering and related services. Purpose of this project is to increase the airline gate capacity at Will Rogers and improve various functions in the terminal, as well as improve passenger processing. It will basically involve an expansion to the east end of the central terminal, and then we will phase an ultimate 9-gate concourse to the east that will mirror the concourse that we have on the west today. We also have the consolidated rental car facility, which is underway at this time. We're projecting $23 million of cost. This is a picture that you see from a very high dirt mound, which is on the south end of the project, looking to the north, and you see Meridian Avenue to the right. Represents construction on roughly a 40-acre site, and this is anticipated to be complete in August of 2015. We've been underway for some time with our checked baggage inspection system. We're projecting $5,565,000 for this project. This is a project where we're replacing the single feed system that was put in after 9/11 to deal with baggage security, and the new system will offer redundancy and improve screening and enhance security for our passengers. We have a lot of other projects we're doing with the department and at Will Rogers. Specifically, a few of these I do want to call out. We're replacing the Taxiway Charlie and Taxiway Golf asphalt with concrete. That's an FAA project that we'll be doing this year. We've talked about the terminal generator project, which is important for us to have 100% backup capability in the terminal building and the pedestrian tunnel. You see the rental car bus purchases, a little over $3 million. Also some equipment that we'll be purchasing with FAA grants, new snow blowers. So significant projects at Will Rogers. And then we have another page as well. A couple of these I'd like to call out. On the top line, we have the elevator stations at 2, 3, and 4 roof replacements. This is related to the roof in the tunnel areas. And then a little bit down on midway on the list, you see the Will Rogers World Airport parking study. Our last study was in 2009, and we feel it's important to go out and update our parking study, given the fact that our revenue control system is quite old, and we have had a lot of changes in parking over the years, and we've done a lot of analysis, and our garages and surface lots are very, very busy, so we want to take another look at that. So total projects anticipated for Will Rogers next year, $69,107,000. At Wiley Post Airport, both runways are going to be seeing some rehabilitation work. Runway 17 right and 35 left is an asphalt concrete combination runway, $888,000. And then we'll be doing some joint seal and seal cracking on runway 17 left and 35 right, which is our main instrument runway at Wiley Post for $333,000. We'll be replacing the rotating beacon and tower replacement at Clarence E. Page Airport for $101,000. And then we have lots of additional key projects this next year. Actually, it's going to be for the next few years, where we're having a combination of airfield lighting and signage projects, runway and taxiway rehabilitation, reconstruction projects, various roof maintenance projects, and also a new maintenance facility at the airport for admin and shop space. So total projects for this next year, $4,454,000. Ongoing and new projects at Mike Monroney are the HVAC mechanical equipment projects. This is several buildings that will be affected by this project, a little over $7 million. We have 3 roof projects that we'll be doing this next year: the air traffic building, radar training facility, and the Academy headquarters roof, a little over $2.6 million projected. Southwest 64th Street, which is the new Lindy Ritz Lane improvements, a little over $1 million. And then additional key projects that Mike Monroney will be doing. These are mainly building and pavement repairs projects, so the total for all projects budgeted next year for Mike Monroney, $15,865,000. When you look at a summary of all of our ongoing and new projects on all airports, you can see the total again, $89,426,000. And the table at the bottom kind of illustrates the amount of trust funds that we'll be spending of $26,753,000, but you see we have a lot of other sources of revenue, so we have a tremendous amount of leverage, particularly with the FAA and the Transportation Security Administration on their funding of almost 90% of particular projects. So the FAA AIP program and the TSA will contribute a little over $15 million. Our passenger facility charge program, this will pay a little over $5.4 million, and primarily related to the baggage system and past terminal renovations. And of course, the CFC is basically constructing the new facility and purchasing the new buses for the rental car facility. Total, again, capital, $89,426,000. The airport's cash fund is categorized by our lines of business, and you see the total, again, for the cash fund of $16,909,000. We have 118 positions which are authorized in the department. We have a few changes to the cash fund budget. We have no net new increases in positions. We did work with personnel and budget to change 2 classification titles. We do have a slight increase in overall insurance, benefits, and salaries of $50,000, and an increase in city-provided services, $483,000. We have a decrease. This is an administrative mode where we're consolidating our utility accounts. About half of our utility accounts were being paid through the city by the trust, and then the others were being paid by the trust itself. So we worked with budget to streamline this so that all those monies will be from now on just paid through the trust. So a total decrease actually from last year's budget of $780,000. That's my presentation this morning, and would entertain any questions.
Okay, any questions for Mark? A lot of zeros, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of big numbers. Terry? Yeah. Okay. Record your votes. It's approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Well, you're still on, Mark. Director's report.
For Will Rod, I don't have one, sorry. Stepping ahead.
Okay,
That was enough.
You don't have one?
No, I do not.
Okay. Number 5, Will Rogers.
Item A is to approve the management services agreement number 4 with Protect Fire Services. This is approving their annual budget and extending the term for 1 year commencing July the 1st. Item B is to approve addendum number 1 to the request for bids for inspection and maintenance services for passenger loading bridges. Receive the staff recommendation regarding the bids and award the contract to the Littleman Group, doing business as Jet Bridge America, for 3 years. Item C is approve addendum number 1 to the field maintenance fire line project, also accepting recommendation on the bids opened on April 22nd, awarding the contract to Brewer Construction, Oklahoma, for $54,015.69, and approving the contract and bonds. Item D is approving the substantial completion and accepting the project for the Fascia Hangar 2 project. Item E is approving number 1 to the contract for professional services with MacArthur Associated Consultants. This is to replace the asphalt portions of Taxiway Charlie and Golf with concrete. And item F, related to that, is to approve the plans and project manual for that project and authorize advertisement for bids to be open on June 17th. Item G is approving change order number 3 with Manhattan Construction Company for the consolidated rental car facility, adding $72,811.34 and 57 calendar days. Item H is approving amendment number 2 to the contract for engineering services with Johnson & Associates. This is for the Portland Avenue project, street improvements, adding $36,000. And item I is approving amendment number 1 to the participation agreement between the Airport Trust and the city for the Portland Avenue realignment project, authorizing the transfer of $1,851,447.23 to the city, contingent upon City Council approval of amendment number 1. We're also recommending approval of amendment number 3 and change order 4 to the construction contract between the city and TTK Construction Company. And last, under Will Rogers, is item J to approve amendment 2 to the contract for professional services with Guernsey & Company, C.H. Guernsey & Company, for the Senior Lane Mechanical System Replacement Project at Mike Monroney. This deducts $102,380.
Okay, any questions on item 5? We have a motion?
Move the items for approval.
Record your votes. It's approved unanimously. Item 6, Wiley Post Airport and Clarence E. Page Airport.
Under General Aviation, item A is to approve the plans and project manual for the Hangar 11 roof replacement project. Bids to be open on June 24th. And item B is approving the plans and project manual for the airport beacon relocation and replacement project, advertising bids open also on June 24th. That's all for General Aviation.
Okay, we have a motion?
Second.
We're on a roll. Okay, record your votes. It's approved unanimously. Item 7 is general.
We have 3 items to receive: the delinquent accounts receivable report, construction project status report, and the budget to actual report as of April 30, 2014. Item B is approving the audit contract with BKD LLP to perform the fiscal year audit of the trust and the airport's enterprise fund, not to exceed $40,390. Item C is approving amendment number 1 to the annual maintenance contract with Rudy Construction. This is their first renewal for the annual paving and repairs and maintenance contract for 1 year, or not to exceed $300,000. That's all items under general.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
Move the items for approval. Second.
Record your votes. It's approved unanimously. Item 8 is leases and other agreements.
Under leases, item A is to approve supplement number 6 to the passenger airline operating and lease agreement with Delta Airlines. We're adjusting some lease premises to provide for Delta's sharing of outbound baggage and their makeup system in the terminal. Item B is approving the lease agreement with David M. Pitts for lease lot for the construction of an individual hangar to be used for the storage of privately owned aircraft. Item C is also approving a lease agreement with Michael K. Broomfield for a lease lot at Clarence E. Page Airport to construct a hangar for privately owned aircraft. Item D is approve the consent of assignment, assigning the lease between Hangar 84, the Airport Trust, and the subtenant Air Inc. Incorporated to ACES LLC in accordance with the lease agreement with Hangar 84. Item E is approving various ground services agreements, which will be providing ground transportation services for the public at Will Rogers. That's all the items.
Have a motion? Record your votes. It's approved unanimously. We have a motion to adopt item 9.
Move the requisitions.
Okay. And it's approved unanimously. Item 10 is comments from trustees, staff, or citizens. Any comments from trustees? Mark, I'll just comment. Congratulations to you and your staff on putting the budget together. And it's big business out there, and you all do a great job, and we're proud of our airport.
I don't know if this is the largest budget that we've had. It's pretty close, if not. It's capital projects are quite
I'm pretty
expensive.
sure it's the largest.
I wasn't here during the terminal renovation one, so I wasn't sure.
I was going to say, my wife and I got done building a home, but after looking at your budget, I'm happy to have her budget, and so y'all have a lot going on. Okay, any comments, other trustee comments? Any comments from citizens? We are adjourned.